I recommend to watch Eileen's POV, Nasty Genji. Okay. Guangzhou have the best tank line in the league. Also make sure to keep an eye on Krung's ult charge on Hanamura. Wow, that is a fucking hot take, though, that Guangzhou have the best tank line in the league. I think Fearless and Void would have something to say about that.
5, 4,
Rio is very underrated. Absolutely agree. But you don't have to immediately go from underrated to the best in the world. You know what I mean? I think the Charge has got a very good roster. I was the highest person on the Charge ever in the beginning of this season. I really believed in them. All right, so let's take a look. Oh my fucking god. Are NYXL really running Tracer-Genji here? I don't think that Tracer-Genji is good with double shield brig. I just don't think it makes sense. Because you want to give your armor packs to the brig. You want to give your armor packs to the Genji, but the Tracer steals them. So I think it just makes both heroes worse. Even though you can see some idea of like getting involved and brawling and taking these team fights and trying to burst heroes down, it fucking planks whenever I've watched it play. Also, happy God tier Genji, God tier Widowmaker, and he isn't. Well, actually, where's he positioned? I thought he'd be up on the high ground. But he's actually playing the low ground here. Okay, goes up on the high ground. Where is Nene right now? Happy's looking for him. Alright, let me get a good angle of this fight. Haksal taking a rock from Krong. Pretty huge. And Haksal get involved in the fight. Happy hits a shot on Mano, which is pretty big. But Nene managed to get a nice flank in there. And I think if you're going to play Tracer-Genji, you have to play it like that, where the Tracer takes no resources and just flanks and comes in from the back. Otherwise, if your Tracer has to play with the team, you're screwed. You can't be giving the Tracer armor packs. Can we ban spoilers? No. No. There are spoilers whenever I speak. Alright, halt in. Don't know what the halt from Rio was, really. Don't know what they were trying to set up. They didn't have good vision of where the NYXL were. Nene's kind of hovering behind. Harassing Happy. Nice play from Shu. Shu getting weak. Eileen goes in. This still looks a bit shaky from the Charge. Like, they haven't quite figured out how to deal with Nene. But that's really nice. Oh, good block. Nice halt as well from Rio. To make Haksal completely useless in the middle of that team fight. I think the key to the Charge's comp is Chara and Shu, but mostly Shu. Making sure that Nene isn't a problem. Allowing the rest of the team to focus forwards. Manny3D, thank you for the 2 months of Prime. Riftor2, thank you for the 100 bits as well. Force out Immortality Field with the Pulse Bomb from Nene. Which is kind of big, but Haksal doesn't have Blade. Supercharger used, but it's going to go down very quickly as well. Flux out here. How does Haksal die? What's Haksal doing? Here's Haksal. Dashes in. Trying to get a little bit of damage off. He gets bashed. Oh, it's just a really nice dash as well from Eileen. Playing a bit more like EQO, you know. Off on the side. Punishing the enemy Genji if he goes too aggressive. Get an easy 50 damage onto him. Finish him off. Nice collapse from the rest of the Charge. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Do I think Lijiang and Alarm are the best brigs in their respective regions? I don't know. Haksal was actually fucking nasty on the brig when he played it that one match. I think Haksal, if he still played brig, would probably be the best brig. But yes, I think I agree. Has someone else been amazing in North America on Brig that I'm forgetting? Because Alarm hasn't played it that much, but Alarm did look very good at it. Rascal's Brig? Yeah, Rascal's played a couple of maps of Brig. I'm not sure. I think Rascal's kind of closer to Alarm than... Whereas I think that Haksal is really quite monstrous. NYXL are so slow. They're so slow. And now Eileen's just going to chop them to pieces. Just into the room. There's nothing you can do when you're in a room like that. If you have overlapping immortality fields, the Genji is always just going to be able to chop you to pieces. Because the blade is going to already do a shit ton of damage to it. So, Happy didn't really do that much in this first round. But I think the reason that they ended up playing Nene on Tracer was because they're scared of Happy. Because Happy has done so much in the past on the Widowmaker. So I think that fear of Happy made them play a worse comp. Rather than have Nene go head to head. I think Nene's scared to take the Widowmaker duel against Happy. FD God had some great moments, but most of them were on Lucio. He did have some great moments on Brig. But he also got picked first a number of times, yeah. Is Eileen the best Chinese player?
5, 4,
At the moment, yeah.
2, 1.
Ah.
Round
I've got cabbage stuck in my teeth. It's very annoying. Alright. Let's take a look at this again. Again, NYXL are going to run the Tracer-Genji, which I don't think is good. But if Nene wants to play super low resource, then I think they can make it work. He just absolutely has to play on the flanks all the time, which is kind of a shitty way of playing. Like if you're gonna play the Genji plus a flanker, you might as well play Sombra, because at least then you can hack people and add an additional win condition. Because if the Trace is just gonna play behind anyway, then you might as well be a Sombra, because your mobility isn't even that much of an advantage. Let's watch Eileen here. Halt doesn't really do anything. Oh, and it's actually Shu that shuts down Haksal. Let's take a look at Haksal then, what he was up to. So he's pushing out Happy. They've essentially flipped team sides, although they continue to do ring around the rosy with each other. The Halt is just basically totally wasted. And Shu basically just beams him down. I mean, where the fuck even is Shu? Where is Shu? He's just in the air. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Just raining headshots down from above. And he's not worried about a sniper, so he can take those positions. Which is yet another reason why the Tracer comp doesn't really work. Happy kills Mano. That's pretty huge. And they're just going to kind of roll around the tanks that are left. I'm not a fan of this Tracer-Genji comp. I don't think it makes sense. I didn't even think about it giving space to Shu, but of course it does. He can just sit on any of these high ground positions and act as another DPS, whereas Jonat can't do that because he'll get his head taken off by Happy. Definitely Gyro the GOAT. I agree. Nene is no slouch on the Widowmaker. He's not Happy, but he's not a slouch. He's pretty good. I think that's really silly, Georgetown, but what do I know? They view it as a much more serious thing in Korea. Okay, Eileen up on the high ground, playing away from the rest of his team. That's he's so weak. He should die. He does die. Eileen overstaying is welcome somewhat. I think the positioning from the Genji so far has not been quite as good as what we saw in the Paris-Philly game. But it probably improves as it goes on. NYXL just starting to roll this forwards now that they've got the pick on Eileen and they don't have to worry about the Dragon Blade coming out. they can afford to spend all of those resources that they would have otherwise been saving to counter Eileen. You know, you can feel happy about throwing down the rally and throwing down the immortality field and just pumping out damage, using your cooldowns, using the rock, because you don't have to save them for the Genji anymore. Compare Shu to NYXL Charge. Again, though, I think this is because Shu just has more freedom to play in good sightlines because he doesn't have to worry about a Widowmaker ever. And if a Tracer comes and contests him, I mean, he's a Batiste. He can actually win a 1v1 against a Tracer if he wants to commit Immortality Field. Nice. Immortality Field. Manos used Supercharger, but they've essentially traded that. That's a nice halt flux. And Haksal and Nene, this is now the part where they should be coming alive. Just doing shit tons of damage to the people on the floor. Once Nene is set up, they're in a pretty decent position. Happy could go... Oh, Happy does go to the Ashe. I was about to say, Happy could go Ashe because... Oh, wait, no, he goes back to the Widowmaker. Oh, no, he's thinking. He's thinking. He doesn't know what he wants to play. I think Ashe makes a lot of sense because you can defend yourself more against the Tracer. And you can actually deny the Tracer from taking flanks as well as still dominating these long sightlines. So, it just gives you a bit more flexibility in what playstyle you wanna play. Best Tracer in the league? Striker. Even though Shaxx, there's an argument for it, after watching all of the Summer Showdown games, I think I've still got to say Striker's still number one.
Oh, baby.
What's up?
He got up here trying to look out the window and just started
Oh, and the
crying.
blinds are closed.
Babe,
Yeah?
I'm grocery shopping. Is there anything you want?
Is there anything I want from the groceries? Yeah, you know what? Is there any rhubarb?
Oh, yeah. What
Yeah?
do you want me to make with it?
No, I'm gonna make a rhubarb crumble.
Okay.
Do you like
else?
rhubarb?
Yeah, what else do you need to do that?
Flour, butter, sugar.
Got it?
That's it.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're all set.
I will see if I can get you some rhubarb then.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's in...
You know what? Not rhubarb, actually. We'll go for apple and blackberry.
Okay.
If you can find any cooking apples, or honestly, normal apples also work.
Okay.
And then cooking apples are better, though, with a bit of tartness.
Yeah.
And then some
Granny's.
blackberries.
Okay.
Lovely. Sugar. All right. So, NYXL, holding on. This is where they want to set Haksal up for a big blade, I think. Just pump him full of... Oh, Eileen absolutely dominates him. What's up? What's up? What's up?
How much of that do you need?
How much?
Yeah.
Let's say... let's say 4 apples and... 4 apples and a thing of blackberries. I don't know what you call it, like a carton, like a...
I'll just get a normal
Pun-
size, because if it's too much, I can just put it in yogurt.
What's it called? A punnet.
Punnet?
A punnet of blackberries.
Like you're gonna figure out what its recessive genes are?
Well, the reason that's called a punnet square is because it looks like a punnet.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not named after the monk who...
No. It's because it looks like a punnet.
Pea plants?
No. No. Okay. I think Shock are just scouting people for the next season. I think Shock just always want to be ahead of the curve. Alright, let's take a look at Eileen here. Eileen, I think, should feel fairly confident about dueling both Nene and Haksal on the flanks, considering that he is the only one from his team that gets the armor packs, whereas NYXL have to split them between Nene and Haksal. Although, to be fair, Nene has basically been playing low resource, and Haxal's been getting all the armor packs, but... Bit of a deflect there, both on full HP, but Eileen... Wow. That was just a... I don't even know what it was. There's some shit ton of damage, though, that came into Haksal. What even happened to him here? What happens to Haksal? There's definitely a halt, but then who's doing all the damage to him? Oh, it's a halt, rock, and dynamite. And then Eileen finishes it off. That's so huge. I think also, though, this just highlights that I would have loved if NYXL were more aggressive with that. Like, why are you playing slow if you're New York here? You're trying to get a rally up? By the time you've got rally, the Charge will have like 4 other ults online. So I think Haksal should have played... Haksal and the rest of New York should have played aggressive with their blade to try and find a pick before Charge could really get in position. Once Charge are in position, they can pull off stuff like that and shut down the only win condition for the NYXL. Okay, Kwong pops the ult. 66% though, and the Charge have to hold on. They use double tank ultimate there, but the Charge have still got Blade Rally for the next fight. I mean, both teams have Blade Rally, but normally the team that's in control of the point would be favored in that kind of engagement because they can control the tempo. Hello. I'm stood behind a windmill. Final fight. Oh, Mano's so weak. Rally for both sides. Haksal uses his ult and Eileen uses his immediately afterwards. Decent setup with a halt. Huge amounts of damage coming out from Haksal here. And Eileen, on the other hand, has really found nothing with the blade. But Happy on the high ground has just done shit tons of work. How does... Where is Nene in the middle of all of this? What is Nene doing? Nene's way late to the party. Also, credit to Shu for being able to use his immortality, use his amp matrix there in order to heal up the rest of his team. I think the NYXL should have won that if Nene was in the fight. Like, if Nene's actually in this fight... If Nene, at this point in time, is positioned, like, here, or positioned here, because he's already dropped down... I think they would have been able to kill the immortality field and pressure Shu and just get a lot more work done in that fight. Really nice play by the backline of the Charge, though. And Happy. So just take high ground and continue to do enormous damage. They all have armor? Yeah, but I think they would have been able to turn that. Char's been a really good brig. Char's brig's been pretty good, yeah. Okay. Let's move on to map 2, Blizzard World. So map 1, there's a lot of Tracer-Genji being played, and I'm not convinced that it's a good composition at all. I like the way that New York were playing it. It was better than... I can't even remember who we saw play it before. We saw some team play Tracer-Genji, and it was just shockingly bad. But, who was it? I can't remember. Alright. So, Charge. Gonna defend with the Metacomp. Got themselves set up on the high ground. NYXL are gonna run the same shit. Eileen versus Haksal in an even engagement now. Even. Let's take a look at the positioning of all of these players. Blizzard World, an interesting choice again by the NYXL. Eileen just dodges that dynamite. Could have been crucial. Pushing around the left-hand side. Haksal, aggressive, straight over the top. Fight looks pretty decent, except that Eileen has found his way onto Haksal. Haksal didn't get back and connect with the rest of his team. And so he was just left out in the open. Hanamura was a slaughter. For your own sake, so you don't mold out of this plane of existence, don't watch it. Oh no, I will watch it. I will watch it. Eileen Pov, he loves dashes. Yeah, he definitely... Eileen definitely reminds me of watching EQO. Like, he really tries to punish enemy players and finish kills. He'll look for Happy to do damage. In a lot of ways, you can draw comparisons between the Charge and the Philadelphia Fusion in terms of the style that they play. You know, they have this, like, focal god-tier hit-scan player, Happy and Carpe, and then Eileen is playing for the confirmed kills. Krong's doing incredibly well, as was Fury. I'm not sure that Chara is quite an alarm, but instead they've got Shu making enormous plays. Slightly different dynamic in the backline. Eileen taking that armor pack, and now Haksal actually wants to go and take the 1v1. Eileen's very weak and ends up going down. Great isolation play onto Eileen. And Haksal there finding the kill, so... Eileen gets caught out. This should lead to a very easy capture. Shu late with the immortality field to keep Krong alive. Had to be thrown from distance. And it's an easy point A for the NYXL. Mostly because Eileen had to use his dash already to dash up top here to avoid the dynamite. So a combination of Nene and Haksal flush Eileen out of position and get the kill on him. Hey, Neptuno. Shu and Alarm are the same role, though? No, they're not. Alarm played Brick. Great domination from the bench, Neptuno. Who is the best? I brought the basics of the double shield comp to this team. Nice, Neptuno. A little bit of coaching from the bench. Chat, who has the best bench in the Overwatch League? Like, if you could only play with the bench players, but it was like an average of all the players on the bench. So you don't need a full stack of 6. It's just who has the highest average level on the bench. Oh, yeah, it's probably Shanghai, isn't it? Maybe the Shock, though? Fusion have got a kind of nasty bench. Atlanta have got some decent players on the bench as well. Anyway. I don't really care. I just thought it was an interesting little conversation to have while Neptuno's in the chat. Did anybody say the Guangzhou Charge? Did anybody say Neptuno with the Guangzhou Charge? Wow. Guys, you're being really rude to my guests. If you could not do that, that would be really helpful. Well, sorry?
I said the Charge. They have Neptuno.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you. Yes, wonderful. Bench difference. Yeah, bench difference. Okay. So, Rio and Krong are holding down on the high ground here. Eileen up over the top is going to use this opportunity to go for his blade. The mortality field forced out, but they can't really stay on that high ground next to that immortality field. So, nice blade by Eileen. I swear when I watched Eileen in Contenders, the guy was like Jinmu. You know, total feast off famine. Not really brainless, but definitely all in. But he's been really intelligent for the Guangzhou Charge. When he played Tracer, he was very intelligent and had good mechanics. Now on the Genji, he knows his boundaries. He knows not to overstay his welcome. At least in most circumstances. He has been caught out a couple of times. But generally speaking, he's been impressive. Blade from Haksal finds absolutely nothing. No setup from the rest of his team. The rest of them don't even press forwards. Eileen is distracting their backline that entire time. And Haksal gets no help or assistance with that blade. And they plank. Absolute plankage. I'm disappointed with the level from both the Spark and the NYXL in terms of their understanding of this meta. I know that the Asian teams have been playing more dive and Sombra and that kind of stuff over the course of this year, but it has been a little disappointing to see teams just not really get it. And there were a lot of teams in NA that didn't get it either. UGUK Blur. Alright, Eileen absolutely pounded there as he goes for his blade. Let's watch that one again. Chara is here too. Hey, Chara, how's it going? Alright, Halt is in. Lots of damage. Bob to engage. The rock onto Krong. But it's this play here. Eileen, I think for starters, like, blading into a supercharger is not the greatest idea in the world. You would want to try and take that out first. And I don't really know why they haven't taken it out, because there's no shielding in the way. Because Haksal just absolutely annihilates Eileen with a supercharged dash through him. And I think there was just a bit of other shitty damage from other people. I don't really know what Eileen was going for there either. There's no... Oh, there's about to be a Halt set up. Not that the Halt even got anything anyway. Because the shield was blocking line of sight, but... Yeah, that's not the greatest engagement in the world from the Charge. I think that's pretty messy. New York roll through. A lot of this game seems to be a battle between Haksal and Eileen. And I don't mean in terms of who can get off the biggest blades, but who can get value without getting picked. Who can avoid being punished by the other. And we never really saw two Genjis play like this in North America. What's going on here? What are you decoloning? Happy can't speak English. He is dumb. Right. I know for a fact that Neptuno's Korean extends to about 안녕하세요, and that's it. I can't even say that word, so mine is even worse, but... Very rude, actually, Neptuno. Put some respect on the champ's name. Are you a champ? I suppose, to some lesser extent. Sat on the bench. 안녕하세요? I don't know. It's supposed to be hello, isn't it? Or like something like that. But I don't know. I can't really. 안녕하세요? I don't know. I can't say it properly. I don't know any Korean. What is thank you again? 감사합니다. 감사합니다, right? I think. That's about the only stuff that I even have any idea what it means. Stop swearing in Korean in my chat. Sajuk can barely speak English? Yeah, that's true. That's true. I used to, when I was younger, I was actually fairly good at foreign languages, but I lost all of that. Huh? Nasty. Happy just put nasty Korean egg in the chat. Are you are you saying that I am bad at Korean and I'm an egg? I'm a nasty Korean egg? Or that I am a nasty Korean egg? What the fuck? So rude. So rude. Alright, we're not watching Happy's POV anymore in this game. The first one. Nasty Korean egg. Alright. NYXL are just kind of rolling this forwards at the moment. Going to Charge are going to have a couple of ults to be able to... Oh, Haksal goes in with the blade. Okay, the Halt was there. He's able to get some value out of it. I don't think, though, that he's in a great position. Like, again, when you're using the blade, you want to be like... If Haksal was up here when he used blade so that he can blade as the Halt comes out and doesn't have to use his dash and then can, like, jump up the wall, get another blade on the immortality field, and then he can use his dash to dash out onto people. That's how you want to use your blade. Instead, Haksal blades from over here has to dash into the Halt, where you can get bashed, rocked, all sorts of different things, and instead has to play super passive with the blade and ends up getting no value. I mean, we often talk about the fact that you can blade and not get any kills and it can still be a big blade, but that one basically just got totally countered. And I think because NYXL aren't... They're not letting Haksal get in the best positions before they go for it. Happy with a nice pick onto Hotbar. I suppose we still have to be nice to Happy, even though he thinks I'm a nasty Korean egg. We do need a nasty Korean egg command. If there's any mods in the chat, please. Exclamation mark Happy should be nasty Korean egg. Remember how they say gods be in Korean? Yeah. Except I can't exactly remember, but it's something like gadspu. I can't exactly remember. But I remember losing it when I was hearing Korean pronunciation of that because it's so different to the English. Oops, there's a pillar in the way.
60 seconds.
Halt in the flux. Happy caught in this. That's pretty unlucky. Great immortality field from Shu. Exactly positioned to defend both Happy and his front line, who are kind of getting rammed. Really fast ult charge there from Jonak. Actually, I guess it's a little slower than Shu, but a great timing for the ultimate, I suppose, is more what I mean. To continue to apply the pressure. Can Eileen clutch? Eileen clutch. Oh, he's into the back lines. Oh, nice coach gun, though, from the Ashe. Nene pushes him away, and he ends up not quite getting the kill there in the back. Mortality field. Bob just blocking the payload. Bob is actually buying a lot of time for the Charge players to come back. Krong on the ball.
10 seconds.
This is looking like a hold, actually. What a clutch Bob from Happy. If Krong and Rio hadn't got back in the fight, this was a guaranteed loss. Huge Bob. Ugh.
Score 0.
Woo! Are there no mods? Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Alright, let me add it then. Add com exclamation mark happy. What is Happy's name in the chat? Is it OW Happy or something? Happy OW? I can't exactly remember.
Hi.
I can't exactly remember how to do this either. OW Happy 2. Did he do it in all caps? I can't remember. I think it was, right? Alright, now when you do exclamation mark happy, it should go nasty. Was it in all caps? I can't remember. No, was it in lowercase? Okay, I'll edit then. I'll edit the command. Edit com happy. Oops.
Attackers incoming.
Edit com happy. OW happy 2. Nasty Korean egg. Fuck it hell. There we go. Oh, actually, yeah, let's give it the brackets as well, because the closed brackets are how shit actually works, isn't it? There we go. Okay, exclamation mark happy now works properly, as intended.
Attackers incoming.
Exclamation mark Neptuno is not a thing. You guys are going to break my Nightbot, alright? Can you calm down? Can you stop spamming? Please stop spamming. My laptop is resting on my dog, and it's heating up, and my dog is getting really uncomfortable. You're gonna burn my dog if you keep spamming, guys. No, I don't have a dog, actually. My family dog died earlier this year. Earlier this year. No, it was earlier this year, wasn't it? Oh shit, yeah, it was at BlizzCon. Yeah, I thought it was at a homestand. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it was in November last year. I love you. Poor Freddy.
Poor Freddy. Not to take away from the draft league for a moment.
Yeah.
Look over at your little stuffed fox. Does he have holes?
No, he's got a camel toe.
Oh,
It's a vixen.
he's a little lady fox.
Little lady fox with a camel toe. It's just a quirk of how it's been made, I think. Yeah.
It was just like giving you a nice hug, and it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. R3L3, thank you for the Twitch Prime, and thanks for the anonymous gifted to Neptuno as well. I'm not even gonna tell you what I'm talking about. I have a stuffed fox behind me, and it just
Did you mute?
it looks weird. All right, its private parts look weird.
She's anatomically correct.
is she?
I didn't look that close.
So Dingus27, thank you for the sub as well. VB Skills and Merzbuzz, thank you for the subs too. And JumpBoy88, thank you for the 17 months in a row. Has anyone seen... Did they release a trailer or anything of my cake? Because I want to say, guys, I was the only person that made a cake for Paris. I fucking predicted it. And where's the video? Where's the thanks from the Paris team? Huh? I imbued Sparkle with the power of cake. And where are my thanks? Where's my credit? Non-existent. I want to see Eileen. I want to see what he does on this attack. Because he's playing very far off from the rest of his team. Oh, wow. Mano just absolutely gets dominated there by the Ant Matrix. I had no idea that that was coming. Jonak's only on 65%. BZD's the only person to actually eat the Paris cake. That's Beth, by the way. Beth ate some of the Paris cake and felt like she was going to throw up. And then I tried to eat my cake and I had to spit it out. So, yeah, all I'm saying is look forward to that video. It's disgraceful. I've also got 3 hours of footage that I'm going to stream of me making the cake once they've released the video. I wasn't trying to poison them. I was just trying to make a classic French cake. But one of the flavors that I put in did not work. It was a classically French flavor, just not really for sweets. Actually, 2 of the things that I tried to put in the cake didn't work. No, it wasn't snails. It wasn't snails. Wine and cheese. No, there was no wine or cheese in the cake. Was there cheese? Oh yeah, there was a lot of cream cheese. Yeah, you're right, actually. There was a ton of cheese. But it was cream cheese frosting. That wasn't the bad part. Cream cheese frosting is fantastic. Photos of said cake or else it didn't happen. There's a whole video of said cake that the Overwatch League are gonna release. They're gonna release a cut down version where they're cutting down like 3 hours of me making it to like 5 minutes, and I am gonna release the full version afterwards. And we're gonna stream it, and you guys are gonna be so tilted, actually, I think. No, I didn't put frogs in the cake, you weirdos. No one puts meat in a cake. Although frog is apparently quite tasty. Oh, I've had frog before. Yeah, I've had frog before. It is quite tasty. It's quite sweet and delicious, but it's very tiny. It's like very small, tender chicken wings. Okay. After the Charge managed to find that very early kill onto Mano, though, they haven't really got much momentum going. But now it's going to be control of the high ground that's the important part. Happy going over to the Widowmaker, too. I kind of want to look at Happy. I got the feeling he's going to pop off. I got the feeling, you know? Might just be me being a nasty Korean egg. But I think that Happy's about to pop. Nani's Bob goes down. Both teams have got Rally, Supercharger, and Blade. Okay, so aggressive from Haksal. Haksal takes down Shu. Trying to take down Happy as well. Mano dies. Okay, how does Mano die here? Because this should just be like a GG go next for the Charge, where they have a massive ult advantage. Oh, Mano just pushes straight into an Ant Matrix without his shield available. It just takes so much damage. And they've actually given up all of this high ground to the charge, too. So Eileen could definitely turn this. Definitely could turn this. Oh, great rock from Hopper. Okay, fairly even, honestly. And Chara's continuing to push the payload. Eileen with the nice little clean dash in, dash out. And Happy kills Haksal. Huge, huge. Has Haksal just been behind them that whole time and Haksal eventually got the... Happy eventually got the kill? I think that was pretty terrible play by Mano that made this fight a loss, though. The block. Eileen with a clean kill onto Nene over to the right-hand side of the screen. Finishes off Mano as well. Into the back on a Jonak. Eileen kind of fucking. Let's give him his time in the sun. Take a look at this. Getting halted away. Immortality field. He knows is already down. They have the infrasight from Happy. Execution. Execution. Great right clicks. Great little deflect there as well. Give him the kill on Animo. Krong stole those last 2 kills. Son of a bitch. Nice little sequence from Eileen. Meatloaf has eggs in it, and that's cake. It's not a sweet cake, though, is it? That's what I meant. No one puts meat in a sweet cake. Sherma, thank you for the 15 months. Why are you giggling?
Something I read.
Yeah, something you read. Yeah. The Nene kill was very clean. I mean, aided by the infrasight, obviously. Happy. About to poo.
He had laxatives.
Yeah, he's... Yeah, Happy's taken his laxatives earlier today. Thank you. Nice shot. Just by the side of the shield. Oh, and another little flick shot onto Mano's head as well. Oh! Oh! Catching him in the back of the head. Mano's so weak. I'm always amazed by the ability for Widowmakers in the league to play around shields. Like, they're just so precise at finding those perfect little angles. Trying to get a shot onto Haksal there. Obviously, a pick onto Haksal would be amazing. Probably the best pick that you could get in this fight. In for sight. Animo falls. Okay, what goes on with Animo here? Because you just absolutely cannot allow Animo to die in this fight. He's far ahead of the rest of his team. Oh. Yeah, he's just playing off on a side angle. He needs to use his bash to get back with the rest of his team. Does he not realize? Yeah, he gets a whip shot. It just gets broken and dashed by Eileen. Out of position from Animo. The Amp Matrix just cut him off from the rest. And Shu has been absolutely pivotal in a lot of these fights. Building up the Amp Matrices so quickly. Matrices? What do you think, chat? Should you say matrices or matrices when referring to the Batiste ultimate? Matrices? I know that matrices is correct if you mean multiple matrices, but when it's a proper noun, when it's like the name of an ability, I feel like you could get away with matrices. Matrici. It isn't a proper noun. I mean, it is. It's the name of the ability. Like a square is not a matrix. It's not a description of what he's doing. It's the name that has been given, like Dragon Blade. I don't know. What's another scenario where that happens? Oh my god, Haksal. Holy shit. That's set up by a beautiful halt. And a flux as well. They invest 3 ults to be able to destroy that push. Large ultimate investment. Charge are going to be coming back into this one with a bongo blade. Can we see that one again? Yeah, sure. It's still not a proper noun. Pumpkin is not a proper noun, but it's still the name of the thing. No. Wait a second. Wait a second. Genji has a sword, but when he pulls it out, the name of the sword is Dragon Blade. And so the Dragon Blade is the proper noun and the sword is the thing, the noun, right? Because it's a name. The sword is not literally named Dragon Blade. The ability is named Dragon Blade. I think, like, for example, Anemo has a shield, but I can't even remember what the fucking name for Anemo's shield is. But it's got a separate other name for it that's like its actual name. So doesn't that make it a proper noun? I don't know. Proper noun. A name used for an individual person, place, or organization, spelt with initial capital letters. Amplification matrix, if you were writing it out, would you use capital letters for it? I mean, this also doesn't say object, but it does say a name. A proper noun is a noun that identifies a single entity and is used to refer to that entity, such as London, Jupiter, Sarah, or Microsoft, as distinguished from a common noun, which refers to a class of entities. So yeah, it's not a proper noun then. Just because it's a name, there are many things. So it's not, right? Wait. What the fuck? Okay, so Genji is a proper noun because he's a cyborg ninja, but he is specifically the cyborg ninja that is Genji. So it refers to a single entity, the thing that is Genji. An amp matrix refers to a specific ability. So aren't all ability names proper nouns? I think they are, right? For example, dance is an ability, Dragon Blade is an ability. You do not capitalize dance. Wait, what do you mean dance is an ability? Who the fuck has an ability called dance? I think you would capitalize Dragon Blade. Technically. There is no other Genji. There are a theoretically infinite number of amp matrices. Well, there are. There's a Genji on one team and there's a Genji on the other team. If you mean it like that. And there aren't... I mean, you can only have one amp matrix per Batiste. So there's as many amp matrices as there are Batistes. Well, no, I suppose not, because you can pump them out like one every minute. Who cares? I care now. I don't understand. I don't understand. I feel like I've got into some grey area. If it's a proper noun, if all abilities are proper nouns, yeah, are they all proper nouns? Yeah, I think so. They should capitalize all of the abilities because each ability is given a specific name. And it doesn't matter how they fit into a sentence outside of that because you use the name. You don't have to follow other grammatical rules. For example, yeah. But then we don't use them as only proper nouns. We also use them as verbs. Like, for example, we'll say he is dragon blading, which is clearly not how you should use a normal proper noun. You would say he is using his dragon blade, which is also acceptable, but we also use them very frequently as verbs. He's hooking somebody, bashing somebody, a lot of that other stuff. So I can't even remember what my original point was. I give up. Let's just watch Haksal slice things. Using a supercharger, a blade, and a gravitic flux inside of a building is such enormous overkill.
60 seconds remaining.
But it does mean that with 60 seconds left, Charge are put in somewhat of a squishy position. I mean, they've still got massive ults, though. That's the thing. I don't know why New York are trying to hold here. They're trying to hold forwards. Oh, Happy does get caught out. I think, though, that as soon as Charge push back in with this Supercharger and Blade and Rally, they should just totally have this. Looking for a big halt from Rio. Big halt from Rio. Are you going to pop the Rally? Chara? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Rally used. They've actually looped around behind them as well. Halt. Halt's in. That was a really nice one. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff from Rio. Very nicely timed as well. It was an interesting attempt to go for a wraparound play there for New York. Might have thrown them off. Might have caused Rio to waste his halt. And it does give them one last opportunity to defend. If Haksal can stay alive, well, okay. Happy hits him with a headshot. That's over. Okay, so we go into the next round. Oh, Lord Almighty. Rother251, thank you for the gifted sub. Oh. Jabrattle. Thank you for the 5 months. Wait, what happened there? Wait, didn't we go into the next round? Oh, I'm a Papega. The NYXL got it really close, but they didn't actually cap, did they? So the Charge just won. Oh, dude, I'm so dumb. I thought that was them both going into the next round. Good win from the Charge.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, New York had to go for something big there, though, because I actually think that they kind of threw by using their Gravitic Flux and their Supercharger and their Blade in the previous fight. I think you could have won that just by going for 2 out of the 3.
Attackers incoming in 30
I would have tried to save the Flux. All right. What's Skip Hanamura, last warning? No. Jabrattle, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. And Chara, thank you for the 5 gifted subs as well. Let's watch his POV. Let's watch Chara's POV as the Guangzhou Charge decimate the New York Excelsior. This is what I've been told. I haven't watched this map, but I've been told that the Charge give them the poo-poo.
attackers incoming.
Throwing around that winner money. Yeah, throwing around the winner money. Thanks for attention. Of course, of course. I feel like Chara's been playing pretty well so far, though. I don't think he stood out as much as Alarm did in the Philly Paris match. But... okay. My shield's up. So looking to play aggressive. Positioning, I think, is the most important thing with Brigittas. I mean, you also just want to always be there to bash and whip shot the Genjis when they're going to blade, but just having constant armor packs onto your Genji and constant inspire uptime is, I think, some of the most important stuff in the neutral. Why is Haksal on Mei? The Shock are also running Mei Ashe. Oh, wow. How does Krong kill Nene? What happens to Nene there? Seriously. Wait, what? Nene's in Maine and Krong just goes and deals with him. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Krong just... Sigma just looks like a fucking bouncer at a club. If you saw this guy coming towards you in real life, you would fuck off. There is no way you would mess with him. What a Chad-looking dude. He strolls over and he's like, all right. Ah, you guys been causing a ruckus. Like, he just swans in, just gliding around, and he's like, yeah, fuck off. Fuck off. Get out my club. As Jesse would say, get out of my pub.
He sounded like the creepy bald guy from Broadchurch. The, like,
Creepy
partner,
bald guy.
Homer. I need you to know that.
It's a Cockney accent, I think, more than a Gloucester accent.
It didn't
Or
sound like it.
Cornish? Are they Cornish in... no, where are they?
They're in Essex. Or,
No, not Essex.
Sussex.
Sussex?
Is it? I don't know. They're okay. Midlands.
I can't... No, they're not in the Midlands.
Not in the Midlands.
They're not in the Midlands, they're on the coast.
Oh my god.
I think they're...
My brain is fried.
I think they're supposed to be in... Where is Broadchurch? I think it's supposed to be set in Cornwall, isn't it?
No.
Or somewhere on the west coast. Is it like West Country? Gloucester? But like even further west on the coast. Oh, is it Dorset?
Yeah. It was filmed in Dorset.
Yeah, but just because it's filmed there doesn't mean
Yeah.
it's set there.
I'm trying to remember what...
It does seem like a Dorset accent, though. It's like the farmer accent.
I'm trying to remember what... Police force they were for.
Nice halt from Rio. Lot of damage. And now they don't have to worry about anybody behind them. They can just press forward. Haksal weak. Mano dead. Don't stagger this out, New York. Just accept your deaths gracefully. In the meantime, if Nene could actually find a kill, this would be huge, but not gonna happen. Bristol is the farmer accent. Yeah. Huh?
Much better.
They work for the Wessex Police Department.
Wessex. Yeah,
But
Wessex.
It's filmed in Dorset. but
Right. They got a tick. It's surprising that they got a tick, but it's because Krong went all the way over here, so Rio had to back off to like this kind of position. So they took control, they walled off, and they got a tick. But so I mean, they've spent 2 minutes to get a tick, which isn't great, but not a disaster either so far for New York. Eileen is surely going to look for a blade here, though. Probably going to wait for the next Rio halt. Bob in from the side. Hopper lifted up. Hopper shredded. I think that must have been Happy hitting a big shot there, was it? I think Happy must have hit a headshot on Hopper as he got lifted up in the air. Because Hopper absolutely hit the ground with 0 HP. Hoik. Yeah, nice headshot. And Bob's continuing to do damage to him as well. And he just takes so much damage all over the place. In the meantime, double armor pack given over to Eileen as he goes to annihilate the opponents. Eileen doesn't honestly get that much done with the blade. This is not important. They've already done enough. Honestly, Happy was the playmaker in that fight. Krong and Rio with great positioning as usual, but Happy with the perfectly timed bob and the kill. Krong laps Hopper at his flux here. Yeah, that kind of... I mean, that makes sense, though, right? Like, Krong's going to continuously prod them as they come in. As they come in. Like, when he wraps around, he's going to be prodding them as they come in. Like, what the fuck is Hopper supposed to be doing? He's just shielding and trying to escort his team up the stairs. So, I don't think that that's surprising that Krong overlaps Hopper. I think that's more to do with the styles of play. Do I think that Haksal should be playing the Mei here on attack? No, not really. I think Mei on defense can be really good, but I don't think Mei on attack is that great. It's too slow. Too slow. But they should be putting more pressure on Krong, I think. Then again, who even does that? Nobody when they don't have a Genji. Oh, Nene. Just stuck there. I think this is a bad strat from New York. It's very slow. And it relies on them getting excellent Mei walls. Animo dies to the damage to the amp matrix. And this is another GG go next with 30 seconds left, which obviously means they can't GG go next. They have to commit to this. They have a lot of ults, but it ain't gonna work. It just ain't gonna work. Krong's in. Krong uses that to take position on the high ground in order to boom these two players that are trying to push back in. Krong's such a Chad. And the rest of the charge easily mop up the 5v4 fight. Yep, Krong played that pretty perfectly. Chara best brig. Let's have a look at the Chara best brig here, shall we? Krong really is a large Chad lord. I think this was more a case of New York losing this, though. It's not so much that New York made major mistakes. They just didn't have the best plan. Boop. Bye-bye, Bob. I love seeing Briggs whip-shotting Bobs. Sometimes it can change the whole course of a fight, a good whip shot on a Bob. Pushing back to a totally different position. Krong is a great name as well. Totally right. NYXL could get the fuller hold here if they run the Mei again. We saw the shock to it. Mei is pretty powerful on defense. Do I think they're going to? No. I mean, I also know that this was a 3-0, so I know they're not going to, but... And yeah. Does Chara have M1 taped down? I mean, that's basically the best way to play as a brig. Always M1 unless you have shield up. Oh, well, I suppose... Yeah, unless you have shield up, because then you would just be shield bashing everywhere. Chara just looking to see if he can get that angle. Basically, I think the Charge are just going to be looking for Eileen to generate a lot of ult charge. I almost would have preferred it if Eileen had stayed with the team here in order to take more pocketing from Chara and build his ult up with the halt. Because I think a good halt here can just burn Hopper down. But alright, it's actually Happy. Happy winning the 1v1 against Nene. Ooh, wow, he was 4 HP as well. Presumably goes back up top. Oh no, he just destroys him with the dynamite. Nice. Great headshot. Oh god. Just clapping him. There's no chance. Hanamura was, yeah, absolutely dominant. And you look at how NYXL played, and I know that they were down Eileen, but they weren't even looking for aggressive walls. They already believe in their brain that they've lost. Look at that wall from Haksal. It's shite. It's shite. If you're going to play Mei Ashe, you have to play closer. I think also Hopper should be positioned up here still. And you should be trying to play aggro in the choke. I think it's possible for Hopper to play around here and just to play for wall engagements as they split left. But you need to mix it up a little bit. Look at that. I mean, what is that ice wall? What is this? What is this again? From Haksal. What is that? What is that? Last place at the snowman competition. Lord almighty. A dreadful performance from the NYXL with Mei on Hanamura. And I think that New York at the moment look like they're on a similar level to like Outlaws, Defiant. It's not impressive. It's not impressive. Haksal washed? No. No. I don't think Haksal himself is washed. I think that the team just doesn't get the meta. They just poo at understanding how it works. Haksal has an amazing Mei. I don't think you need to play Libero there. I think that Haksal's Mei is actually fabulous most of the time. But he had a shitey performance in that map. But normally Haksal's Mei is low-key one of his best heroes.